Usually, what happens is when I have seen in a lot of YouTube channels where people help you or people have a tutorials on how to launch the instance, how to connect this instance using the PEM key. But I haven't seen anyone showing that how do you give access to this instance for a third user without sharing the PEM key? Because PEM key is very critical, and it's a big security concern if you share the PEM key to other user. And also there are chances where they have the eye privileges and they might delete the resources, and it ends up wasting a lot of time to debug. So I will show you here how do you create a user, how do you give the third user access to your instance without password and without sharing the PEM key. Let me show you that quickly. It's so first I'll connect to my instance. It should be 700. So yep, I have logged in to user to the AWS instance and using a PEM key. So now what I'll do is I'll create a user first, and then I will contact the user and I'll ask them to share the public key, and I'll configure the public key for that user and I'll ask them to log in now. So for example, first you need to add user here. There is a user called dev. Okay. So you have to enter the password. Okay. This is dev. Nope. 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 This is for developers. Okay. So now if you see we have dev user created, and now we shall give this user to the other person for accessing it without sharing the PEM key. For that, what I have to do is assume this is my local machine. Okay. And I am now going to ask the user create, I'll just instruct them create a SSH keys from your end and share me the PEM public key hyphen T RSA. Okay. So what does is it creates a public and private key in this path. Okay. So now if you go here, you can see two files, which is IDRSA and IDRSA.public key. So for whatever reason, you're not supposed to share your private key, uh, but public key can be shared to anyone because it is the name has a public, and also this public key will be added to the server, and you can log into the server from this machine using this private key, or it doesn't matter, you don't need a private key now because you're already authorized and we are adding this public key in the authorized section of the AWS instance. So for this, what you have to do is you have to share this public key. So now we have to connect to the Ubuntu instance, and we have to go to the dev user. Since I'm a root user, I have this. I mean, if you're a DevOps engineer or a cloud administrator, you will have a root privileges or you will have a root access to the instance. Now go to the dev user, and inside that you will have a folder like this. If it is not there, create a folder called .ssh. Okay. And here you have to create a file called authorized keys, and copy the public key and paste it in the authorized file. Okay. So that's it. Now what you have to do is you have to send user just the public IP of the instance. For example, now assume I'm a dev user, right? So what I have to do is SSH dev at the rate. You see now I'll be able to log in as a dev user without the password and without the PEM key. In this way, you demonstrate that you are a security person. You also concern on security. You will not share the public key. You will not share the PEM key with anyone because it is it is not at all a best practice to share. And also you have not shared the password online, and this user can access the files, but he will not have the sudo privileges to edit it. This way, you have made the integrity saying that you cannot view it or whatever the error you get. For example, if you do sudo su, this is the error because you are not the sudo file. That's it. Thank you.